Hey everyone, it's a new week and I am hitting the ground running. As you can see, I am editing another video. As of recording this video should already be up. I believe it's episode 4. But today was definitely a jam-packed day. As I'm recording this, it is Monday, July 15th, and I had an exciting meeting today with two of my amazing photographer friends, Shannon with Photography by Shannon Ray and Tyler of Tyler Frame Photography, and we have a really exciting shoot coming up. I love writing notes. I'm definitely a note-taking person, and I know it's a little dim in here. It's so hot I don't want to turn any lights on in my office, but we are going to be doing an exciting photo shoot in collaboration in August and getting it all planned out, and just I can't wait. I can't say too much about it yet, but it's definitely going to be something way different than anything we've ever done, and it's not going to be in Fargo. The only other shoot that I did that wasn't in Fargo was just outside of Lake Park. So I haven't really been able to travel much for these shoots, but this shoot that we're doing in August as a collaboration is part of the grant that I received. And I'll be going into more detail closer to explain why it has to do with the grant and what the purpose was for me wanting to do this. And I can't be more excited. I don't even know if I have examples of what I'm going to be having the models wear to give you a sneak peek, but here, let me see if I can find something. So I don't know if you can see that, but this is one of the pieces I am using. It is this vintage gold metallic men's tux jacket. I might have put this in one of the earlier videos, but this was worn by a musician who was in, oh gosh, like a big band, rockabilly band. And this is going to be one of the pieces that we're going to use. So it's not going to be boring. It's going to be full of color. I'm so excited that my brain stops working when I talk about it. It's been a very long day, but it's kind of a sneak peek as to what exactly the theme of this one is going to be. Now, as I'm editing this video, if you haven't already signed up for the newsletter that goes out for the actual digital online archive, I will try to remember to put a link in the bio of this video. But I just did a new addition to the archive, this Lily Daché 1960s inky black bowler style hat. I am currently working on another one. Get that clicked into so you can see a little bit of a preview of it. It's this really beautiful 70s hand embellished costume vest to show some of the close-ups. How stunning is that? So I'm hoping at the time of this video release, this post will be up. I'm not really scheduling much right now and trying to do these on an established deadline. That's when I get super burned out. So I've just been putting these up when I have the energy. But if you want to keep up on it, it's very cloudy today, overcast, but hot and humid. So I don't have a lot of light in my room right now, but it's just fun to sit in here and get some work done, and it's my peaceful place to start the week. Mondays are my one day off a week. All right, so today is going to be a pretty hectic day. I have a bunch of new stuff coming in, getting ready for the Downtown Fargo Street Fair, and I also have a bunch of fittings today for a wedding shoot I am doing in a couple of weeks. So it is crunch time. Now, you saw the veils that I had been working on all of last week. Now I'm starting to shift into getting a lot of the clothing ready. And here, as you can see, I have fake cockroaches. I use these for a project I did a few years ago. I made a bunch of fake cakes for a window display, and one of them was a 3-tiered bubblegum pink cake with fake white frosting and cherries. And along the side of it is a cascade of crawling fake cockroaches. Now for this upcoming shoot, one of the themes is dive bar, and they want very trashy, dirty, dingy. And they wanted a pink tulle dress. So I had this pink tulle dress from, oh gosh, I got this years and years and years ago. And it still had its tags on it, but somehow during some kind of storage, or I don't know what happened, but some color from another outfit bled onto this dress. So what I'm going to do is just start sewing a lot of these cockroaches walking up the dress to kind of cover that. Even though it's a dive bar dirty theme, I still don't want like a giant splotch on there. So it's going to be very John Waters-esque, but I have my work cut out for me this week. It's going to be really crazy, but I'm hoping I can start making a really good dent in a lot of the projects that I have. And this is one of the suits that one of the gentlemen for the dive bar shoot is going to be wearing, accompanying that pink dress. Fingers crossed it fits. If even a little too big, I can clip it, but I'm getting nervous. So please send good vibes. All right, we're getting there. We are getting there. Got a little bit of a rush of people in, so I've been slowly trying to work on this. These little buggers are harder to attach than I thought. So I've been sewing them on pretty crudely, and I am going to disguise this thread for now. Kind of looks like they're going on a backpacking mission. But I'm going to paint the string a little bit because I didn't have string that matched it exactly. But let's just try to get all of these sewn on and finished once and for all. Alright, so it's the end of the day, and I was going to do more progress photos with this, but it got really busy, so I didn't get a chance. I did finish putting on these roaches. They're just crawling up, and we actually ended up doing a fitting for the shoot today as well, and that went amazing. So I'm very, very excited with how this turned out. I just have to steam it, get it all prepped and ready for the shoot. And the big tulle bow veil that I did last week is gonna top this off. I'm gonna have fluffy little frilly socks. I'm excited. This was a dress that I had honestly bought for myself years and years and years ago. All right, so it's the next day, and I'm finally starting on the black tulle train for the upcoming wedding shoot. I've just been pinning things, seeing where it's gonna work. I'm gonna have pearls just lightly dangling down here, and then I have to hand sew some at the end of the train. But for this busy weekend, we have a fair going on the next few days, so I wanted to at least get the base of this train done, so it's one less thing I have to have anxiety over. The couple that is going to be wearing the outfits attached to this are going to be coming in for a fitting this weekend, so I at least want to get the base of this ready to have something to fit them in. But let's see how many times I can stab myself doing this one. All right, so I sewed some pins on the back of felt here. This is going to be camouflaged. When I pin this on the blazer, it's going to go on. But I also added 2 strands of faux pearls, and how I did that, because I didn't want to sew everything in, I just used a jewelry clasp and these little loops. That's going to be covered, so you won't see how messy that part is, but the top of the train is getting there. It's starting to come together. Just got to give this a good press and steam, but it's starting to formulate. I'm really excited with how it's going. All right, so I didn't do any video yesterday because we have a street fair going on here in downtown Fargo, and I just didn't have time. But what we did have time for is my sister came in yesterday to just help me in the shop, and she helped me reorganize a little bit and try to get some things off the floor. So that was our goal yesterday, but I wanted to show you a piece of the archive that is something a little different than the vintage that I have been showing you. This is something that is a Carmine and Hayworth vintage original that is going in the archive, and I couldn't be more excited. This is a little wrinkled because I haven't steamed it yet, but this is the first of our Carmine and Hayworth original knitwear. And since I started my shop in 2018, I've loved, well, what we call menswear, but what I mean by menswear are pieces that are fit by measurements and just have that kind of straight cut size that fits a lot of different body types and body shapes. And I had a favorite brand that we always would get vintage inspired knitwear from, but they closed their menswear section. So for the past couple of years, I've been trying to figure out a way to get cool vintage inspired menswear, especially knitwear, that was ethically made and sourced, but also was on the affordable side and not maybe $300-400 for a sweater. So came up with a way to do it myself. Now this knit cardigan, all of the artwork that you see on it was actually done by my partner Charles. He is an amazing illustrator. He has several different accounts. The top two are Bone Jack Designs, which he does a lot of hockey related illustrations, and also Mr. Pen and Marker, which in that capacity he did all of the Western artwork for this cardigan. And we're going to be doing more of these cardigans, but in different themes and prints, so they're not all going to be Western themed, but these turned out amazing. It's been in the works for a couple of years, and now that we finally have these for sale in the store, it feels amazing. They're soft, they're beautiful, no one else has them. I absolutely adore these, and we kept one aside to put in the archive just to have our own little touch. I mean, the archive isn't just for vintage pieces of others, it's pieces that we created as well that I know in decades to come are going to be enjoyed by so many people. I'm beyond excited that this is available. If you are interested in it, I'll have the link to purchase it down below. We're only doing a limited run, so at the time I post this video, we may or may not have any left, but I just had to show it because this is one of the most exciting pieces next to my Elizabeth Taylor pieces that we're putting into the archive. And just look how beautiful that is. Ugh, the attention to detail. I am obsessed. He did such an amazing job. Now, I'll be the first to admit, and I've talked about this before, when I come back here, I have a tendency to get very overwhelmed with the amount of work that I have to do. So having my sister here yesterday was amazing. She came in with fresh eyes. I had a bunch of chairs sitting on the floor, and this whole area right here was just covered with boxes and random things. And she had the idea of putting my decorative chairs up here and doing a display of just a really cool display of them. And that got those off the floor. I went through pieces that I'm going to donate that I can't sell. She also organized my bookshelf a little bit more to get a lot of my props and archival literature a bit more organized. I love this Velveeta little camera. One day I'll get film for it. One of my favorites. I don't know if you remember these. I'm pretty sure I have this on the online archive, but these Bonnie Bell lipsticks. See if I can get that to focus. I was obsessed with these as a kid. Me and my sister were talking about them. We had these translucent purple ones that were a gloss. They were so cool. Can't read the bottom, but it's Cherry Cola Crush. That's the color, and I ended up getting 4 of these dead stock. They actually don't smell that bad, but I haven't had the bravery to try them yet. Then we have all of the fake food for my various window displays. I have a little bit of an obsession with those. I even have this fake stick of butter. I just plopped it in the window for one display, no purpose, but it's just a stick of butter. And who doesn't remember these killer boom boxes? I wanted one of these so badly as a kid, but these were definitely a lot more expensive. You remember those, I think they were Mac computers that had this translucent plastic on top of it as well. I wanted those. I really wanted this. It's a tape deck, CD player. But I found this at a thrift store for like $7 a few years ago, and I snapped it up and it works perfectly. Did a window I think it was a Jawbreaker themed window display where I made a bunch of Jawbreakers out of styrofoam balls, and then I had this playing my Jawbreaker album. I'll tell the story about how I got banned from a friend's house because of this movie. So it's been hard to film lately because so much has been going on in the shop, but I wanted to give a little bit of an update on that black tulle train I have been working on. I started sewing on a lot of these pearls. I have a lot of fine tuning to do, but I wanted to just start with the embellishing. And as I showed you last time, I did sew in some strands of fake pearls. I wanted to hold off a bit on working on a lot of this until I had the model fittings, which just happened yesterday, and everything fit perfectly. I am so relieved. I didn't want to keep embellishing this and putting all my work into it if it wasn't going to fit. So I'm very relieved it did. That faux pearl blazer I've been embellishing, all of it has fit and has worked. So all the fittings are complete for that wedding shoot, and now it's just full force. I have a week to get all of this done. Please give me all the good vibes you can. This is definitely going to be crunch time. But as you can see, I have all of Frankie's stuff set up here. They have been in all this weekend working on projects. So I'm excited to see what they finish today. But this is just my little project that I have been working on.